everybody, welcome it's Shade and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we have a fun video for you guys. I am going to be doing a art journaling page slash journaling page. So let's get started. So today I will be using the printable from my shop. It's new and it's called I Am Special. Now I normally release kits on a Monday, but I couldn't wait. So I went ahead and I released the thing. Okay. Now, and I could not wait to start playing with these. Now, as you guys may know, April is Autism Awareness Month, or maybe you did not know, but hello, it's April and it is Autism Awareness Month. Why am I? Hey everybody, it's Autism Awareness Month. Well, let's see. I have a son on the spectrum. I have a 7-year-old and he is on the spectrum, and so it is my job as his mom to spread awareness, right, and to break the stigma attached to children or persons, because children grow up to be adults, for persons on the autism spectrum or any other disability out there. All right, so the printable I'm using is called I'm Special, and it has these cute dolls. They're so cute, and they're blue because blue is the color, and on Saturday we lighted it up blue because Saturday was World Autism Awareness Day, right? So it was global, not just here in Jamaica. And of course the puzzles symbolize, the missing piece that I always say from the break. Now I'm not here to give you a bunch of facts, but if you want them I can give them to you. But today I just want to share with you, a little bit about my journey with a child on the spectrum. And when I first found out, he was 3 years old, and he was always a quiet baby. He didn't cry a lot, or when he cried, but he was pretty quiet for the most part. He started saying a few words around 6 months, and then he went silent, but I didn't think that as anything, tremendous, right? And then, he started walking at 9 months. So he was progressing and he ate very well. Like, he was a healthy eater. So I wasn't really worried, but he was very quiet, He would only cry when he wants to be held, or, but otherwise he was pretty quiet, and everyone was like, oh, he's so well behaved, and I'm like, yes, I know, right? And when he was 2 he wasn't talking. When he was 3 he wasn't talking. So I didn't think that was anything alarming, because my brother was a late speaker. So I just thought, well, once he started to talk, no one could shut him up. So I just figured that was the case with my son. However, we, from about 6 months, I recognized that he wasn't sleeping at nights, right? And so that was very rough for me, because he would always want to be up all night and he would sleep in the day. But I still didn't think it as anything, strange. I know his father would be like, oh, that's me, because I stay up at nights or whatever. How I found out was, and there were other signs, but I was just like, nah, he's fine. He would scream a lot, he didn't have awareness, and even when he was 3, he was basically eating baby food. Like, as you age up, by the time you get to 1, You start eating more textures, but for him it had to be smooth. My mom would say I'm the one why he's like that, because I keep on giving him, really pureed food, because I made all this food myself, because I took pride in that. I really enjoyed making juices. He got all the fruit juice. Listen, all the fruit juice. I never bought one baby food. Now, no offense if you do that, but that's fine. But for me, I wanted him to have all natural food. And I live in Jamaica, so we have an abundance, right? So there's really no need. So I would go and buy apples, pumpkins, carrots. I made him porridge. I pureed. I just did all the things, right? And I'm a chef, so I know how to cook. So he had a very good start in life. However, when he hit the age of 3, and I'm like, okay, I was hesitant in sending him out to school because he wasn't talking, right? And that was a major concern for me. Anyways, I decided, hey, I'm gonna send him out now. He was about 3.5. I took him because you have to get the school medical, and so while I was doing that, the doctor was like, okay, I'm gonna refer you to the University of the West Indies. She didn't say, right? And I went up there, and she was like, they're like, no, that's not how it works. You have to make an appointment because there's a huge waiting list. And I'm like, waiting list for what? She's like, you don't know why you're here? And I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, how do you not know why you're here? Because now I'm seeing all the kids in the waiting area. They all had a challenge, right? And I was like, why am I here? Different type of things. It was not just autism. Now, after she said that, I made an appointment. The appointment was for like 6 months. I went home and I ripped open that envelope. I don't care. I opened it, right? And I read it, and her speculation was that he was on the autism spectrum, which was like rough for me, and even worse for his father, because he did not want to hear that. He still does not want to hear that. He's still in denial about it. And that was pretty rough, and that's where my journey began. He was officially diagnosed when he was 4. So it was the same year, but his birthday is in August, and I got the official diagnosis in November. So that just flipped my world upside down, and it was very hard, and I was in denial for a very, 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 very long time. I refused to believe, but I was recommended to go to the Autism Association group meets. It's for parents, it's a support group. And I was encouraged to go. Of course, the first couple months I didn't, but then I went. In January, I think, is when I started. And that's where I start getting a lot of information and education on autism and characteristics and behaviors and things to do and to curb things. And you have a wealth of knowledge from moms who have been in your shoe, been in your position. Some of them have kids that are driving, oh my gosh, and some have children that will be dependent upon them for the rest of their lives. So it's a large spectrum. You have those that can drive, they can basically take care of themselves. So you have the high functioning, the low functioning, and the moderate. So my son's diagnosis was moderate autism with global developmental delay. So it wasn't just one thing, it was 2. And it's been a journey, it's been a struggle, especially living in Jamaica, because there's not that many resources, and everything is scarce. I needed all the therapy. I needed occupational, I needed ABA, I needed speech, and to this date I have not gotten him into a speech therapist because there's only 5 in the island and they're packed. I was on a waiting list, and she was like, okay, here's the thing, mommy. If anyone drops out, I'll call you. You get here in like 10 minutes. And that was never going to work because I lived about 45 to an hour away from my job. And my house, when I were to go home and to get him, that's like 30 minutes away from the doctor's office. So obviously that's just ridiculous. So that would never work. But I had him in ABA, and he was getting a bit of speech there as well. Now, if you don't know what ABA means, it's Applied Behavior Analysis. So it's a type of therapy that helps with the behavioral aspects, because a lot of the children have behavioral issues. So there's a lot of issues. And for my son, obviously, you can see that's his picture. Handsome man right there. He doesn't look like he has a disability. He has a disability, which is very rough because there's a lot of judgment. Persons like to give, their unsolicited advice when you didn't ask. We know how they are. And it's been really rough. Now, I'm going to just stick a pause and interject to say that, it's not easy being a parent. If you're a parent, it's not. And having a child on the spectrum is 10 times harder. I always joke and say he's like the equivalent of 3 kids. Like, I don't think I have the capacity for any more. No, I know a lot of persons do go on to have others, but trust me, it's a lot. And so my major challenges with my son are sleep. Initially I had him on sleep medication, and I just didn't like that. Going potty, but now we're great. He was on laxative for quite some time. Kids' laxative didn't even work. We had to be using enema because he would not go. And we know how the sensory gets with them, and so it. I know. Did you see that mess that I made? I had an idea because I thought the page was just a little too bland with the blue. I was just rambling on, and I wasn't even telling you what I was doing, but I think it's pretty explanatory. You can see that. However, I was just making some art marks with the the paint bottle, and I spilled it. I spilled it all over the place, and I'm just trying to do some cleanup now. So yeah. But you know what? I think it came out well, because art is very unpredictable. And that when that happened, it reminded me that life is also unpredictable, because I thought I was going to have an amazing experience as a mother. I had all the plans because I'm a planner. I like to plan certain things. And I think my son changed that for me. Now it's a struggle for me to plan because life is unpredictable. I can be like, okay, I'm going to bed by this time. And he's like, nope, that's not what we're doing. Or I'll get him to bed at 8 o'clock. And by 10 he's up, and he's not going back to sleep until the next day. So those are some of my struggles. And that's hard actually working because you're always tired and it's just a mess, right? But I will say it's not all bad. For me, I can't speak for everyone, I can only speak for myself. But for me, I have grown to enjoy, the little things in life. For other persons, writing and speaking and walking and doing all the things, tying the shoelace that we have not gotten to it yet, even though he's 7 going 8 soon. We are not there yet, but for me, the little things matter. I remember when he wrote his first letter. Listen to me. I was so excited. I was running up and down, and to make everything better, it was on my birthday. So I was so excited. Alright guys, so I hope you like the way my page turned out. I think it was pretty explanatory what I did. I used some archival ink, and I just smooshed it over the page to give it a blue tint. As I said, Blue Autism Awareness Month, right? And so I tore some paper as per usual, stick that down, put the picture down, and I put some swatches around it. I also did a little swoosh, squiggly lines up and down on the other side of the page, and I went ahead and put some washi down as well, and a few of the paper elements from the kit. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you did, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. If you know somebody that would enjoy this video, go ahead and share. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I want to encourage you to support the Autism Awareness Month and spread awareness and break the stigma. Bye!